Well, I picked these boxes up quite a while ago from a car boot sale, and they had glacé cherries in, and you can often get these at junk shops or car boot sales and things like that, and this just had nice sweets in it. The person I bought these from had loads of them. So what I'm going to do is sand down this decoration here, and I'm going to be using my Let's Resin 4-in-1 tool. It's brilliant. I love it. I love it for resin, but I also love it for crafting. And I'm going to be using it as just an orbital sander. Now, you don't need to push too much pressure on this. You just let the actual sander do the work, and that'll sand away all that colour and the pattern that's on there. And look how quickly that got rid of that. It's such a useful tool. And that is nice and clean now of that. But what I want to do is ensure that I run that down smooth. Now, I used 100 grit sandpaper. So I'm now going to go to 320 sandpaper and smooth that off now quite a bit. And once I've done that, I'll then go over it with the next grade up. And once that's lovely and smooth, then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the box after that. Well, that's beautiful and smooth now. It's got a lovely finish. I've gone around the whole box and I've taken off the label as well and then sanded that down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint this gold for two reasons. One, I want to seal this for the next stage, and this will seal this paint. And two, I want this to be a gold undercolor for it. So I've got some gold acrylic paint. I use a lot of gold, so I buy a big tin of it, but you don't have to buy a big tin of it. You can buy it in smaller tubes. It's much cheaper, I think, to buy a big tin of it. So all I'm going to do is brush a thin coat of this over this wood like this until it's all covered. I'm going to try and go down in the same direction all the way as well to ensure that I haven't got any thick lines or anything like that on here. And then if I need to, I can give it a very light sand, but I'll use a hand sanding rather than a machine sand on this, just to take off the rough edges if it needs it, but it might not need it. And once this is all sanded, I'll then go through what I'm going to do next to really jazz this up and get this looking amazing. And you can do this with any little box like this. You know, if you're not lucky enough to get a load from a car boot sale, then you can often get little boxes like this online as well, and I'll link some of them in the description below. The gold has dried really well now, and it's ready for the next stage. But before I do that, what I want to do is paint the inside of this black, and then I've got something really quite special to do to the inside that's going to be really easy to do. It's going to be easy to do and cost very little, but it'll finish this off amazingly. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this black, then let that dry, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to it next. I think you're going to love the final result. So this is all lovely and dry now. Before I do the next stage, what I'm going to do is mask off all of the black that I've done, because I don't want to get any bits on that of what I'm going to do for this next stage. Going to go round, mask all that off. Now this is fully dry, that isn't going to pull it off anyways when I take that masking tape off, which is great. I shall do the inside of both the lid and the box. Well, now I've got those all blanked out, I can get on with the next bit. And what I'm going to do is cover it with this awesome gold leaf that I've got. Got my gilding glue, and we've sealed all that in now, that wood, so this isn't going to take up lots and lots of this gilding glue. What I'm going to do is paint this with the gilding glue, a nice thin layer all the way across the top, and this will dry so quickly today. It is like a furnace in here today. And once that's dry, it will go lovely and clear, and then it will remain sticky, and I can put my sheets of the gild all over it. And I'm going to finish the inside. I can't wait to show you what I'm going to do with the inside. So it's nicely covered. Go down the sides, because I want the sides to be covered too. And now we've got that coated. I'll leave that for about 5 more minutes. It should be dry by then, and then I can apply the leaf. I will wash my brush out now before I do this one, because it is so warm in here. If not, that is just going to go really sticky. Well, that's all lovely and dry now, and I'm working on brown paper now because it's so much easier to clean up when you've been working on brown paper. And this is messy. All I'm doing now is laying my leaf on here and using this paper, gently tap it down. I don't want to do anything more to it than that at the moment. And that'll stick to that really well. The other thing is, working on here is I can collect all the bits up and keep them and put them in a little pot and then use them for something else. I'm going to slightly overlap that one. There. So what I'm going to do with this bit is I'm going to put a little bit in there like that, in between two sheets. Get my scissors, cut a bit. Stuck that there now. This is messy, believe me. Then I'm going to fill that little gap in there. And any little spaces that I've got, I can just fill them in as I go along with the little bits that I've got. And now that's covered nearly everywhere, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift that up. I'm taking a very soft brush here. And now I'm going to lightly brush over that and get rid of any excess bits. Look how pretty that is now. Believe it or not, this actual leaf is not expensive at all, and they do loads of different patterns. I used it in my resin and made some resin jewellery with it, and that came out brilliantly. So I'm now going to clean all this up until I've got no more flaky bits. This does take a bit of extra time, but it's worth doing and getting rid of all these bits, because we will seal this as well. Look how beautiful that is. I love it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sweep my little bits up, pop them in a pot so I can keep them, and then I'm going to do exactly the same with the outside of the bottom of the box. And once I've got all that done, I'll show you how I'm going to do the inside and also how I'm going to seal this leaf that's on here. So these are all covered now, and I'm really pleased with how they're looking. I'm going to give it just one more quick brush over to make sure I've got everywhere laying where it should do. Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. And now what I'm going to do is take out the paper that I had in here to pick up all the loose bits. Because if not, I end up getting everything just covered in it. And I find that this is the easiest way to keep it all nice and neat. Now I've got that all cleaned up. What I'm going to do is I've got some interior gloss varnish here. And now I'm going to give a coat of this all the way over the gilding. And this will seal it in lovely and give it a really great shine. I'm making sure my brush goes the same way each time. And then I can leave that to dry while I do the box. That's all nice and dry now, and as you can see, it is still beautiful and shiny, and it's very protected now. And I've got this. It's a thing to put your rings in. I got them off Amazon. I'll link them in the description below. They were so cheap. I got loads of them. It is a bit too big for this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down. I only want it to be that wide, so 3 rings wide, because what I don't want it to do is overpower, and to be perfectly honest, I ain't got that many rings. So that should fit in there now like that. All I need to do is measure this to see how wide I need it. So 11.5. And now with a nice clean blade, all I've got to do is cut that off across there. And then that should fit in there nice and tight and push up against there, look. And then this bit here, I'm going to cover in velvet. Of course, not real velvet. I've got this stick-on stuff here that works really, really well. So I'm going to cut myself some of this and then stick that in the bottom there. Make sure that's down all the way. Yeah, and that's completely stuck on there now. Now I can put that back in this side. And now I've got a really good jewellery box. And you can use this at craft shows if you want to demonstrate or to show your jewellery that you're making. Or you can use it like this, keep your own jewellery in. And there we go. We've got a really nice, really well produced jewellery box that looks pretty, and it's cost us next to nothing other than our time. And to finish this off, what I'm going to do is put a felt base on it using exactly the same sticky felt. And believe me, once you've put this on, it does not come off. So make sure you get it right in the first go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that over like that. Put that on there like so. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is turn that over and then trim it up with my really sharp knife. At a bit of an angle, so it goes slightly underneath the box. And that way you haven't got any of the sticky showing. So there we go. We've got a lovely felt base to it now. We can just take the lid off. We've got our chains or whatever you want to put in here. Brooches. And we've also got some rings in there as well. Really easy, very glamorous jewellery box. And if someone wants to buy it when you're at the craft fair, then sell it and make another one. And it's cost next to nothing. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that quick upcycle project. I think it's worked out really, really well. If you've enjoyed this project, check out the one I've got coming up next, which is a brilliant upcycle. I think you'll love that. Boot the like button, hit the subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your crafting. Take care. Bye.